My vacation was awesome. You guys have fun? I went down to a friend's wedding, and that was fun, you know, for obvious reasons. And here we're doing the maps trip. We're doing the maps trip, okay? Could probably use like a website to draw a red line, but I don't want to, okay? So we start in San Diego, right here by the lovely nation of Mexico. And where's the slideshow? I'm not doing a slideshow. I'm just telling you guys where I went, okay? And we drive and we drive and we drive and we drive and we drive. We go to Tucson. Look, the big ones, we spent a lot of time in the Navajo Nation. Up here in the Colorado Plateau, okay? Had a phenomenal time. Went to Sedona, kind of a hippy-dippy tourist town. You know, lots of dipshits here with their crystal healing or whatever. Very pretty town, though. Very, very pretty town, okay? We went to Sedona. Did you get Flagstaff? Yeah, we went to Flagstaff, yeah. But the main shit we was up to, okay? The main shit we were up to, 100%. So obviously, Grand Canyon. And yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. It's pretty big, guys. It's pretty huge. It's crazy. Deeply evil feature of the landscape, by the way. Much in the same way that mountains are morally good because they're proud. They jut out from the ground. You know, they inspire you. Big canyons are evil. When you're standing on the edge of the canyon, it's like, oh, it's an upside down mountain. That's evil, right? You get me. You understand. It is unsettling, okay? 100%. The Grand Canyon's morally evil? Yes. However, Monument Valley, very, very, very morally good. Monument Valley is very morally good. We passed by Mexican Hat, which is like, it's because there's a rock that's balanced on another rock that looks like a sombrero. Very beautiful. Look how red the sand is, man. So beautiful. So gorgeous out here. So goddamn pretty. But we went out to Monument Valley, which, I mean, here, hold on. Where am I? Show the rock? Google it yourself. We're not doing a goddamn slideshow here, even though I did take a lot of photos. Lot of photos. Very pretty out there. Ask Grok? No, I don't think so. Spent a bunch of time over in the Navajo Nation. Was very rootin'. Was extremely tootin'. You know, the rocks were big. Very red. Look at that. Monument Valley. I want to go back and drive around for like 6 hours. The nice thing about visiting Monument Valley, like it is very much like a drive-by national park. Like, what is there to hike in Monument Valley? You're gonna climb up it? No, you're not. It's vertical, dumbass. What are you, like a professional? You know, what are you gonna do? Hike around? The landscape is endless. It's an infinite. Just walk forever. What are you gonna do? Die to a rattlesnake? No. You drive around. There's a scenic drive. 2 hours. Great time. I want to go back. I want to go back, man. I'm going to go back for sure. Got some Navajo stuff. You know, there's legal protections for selling Native American stuff. It's like one of the few buffs they get for being the part of the marginalized group they are. You know, one is casinos. The second one is that legally, if you say that your stuff is made by indigenous people and it's not, you can get in legal trouble. You know, it protects that. Did you have cowboy boots on? No, I don't actually own any. I'll work on that. Native Americans have been so fucked over the years. Yeah, I went over to the trading post here outside of Monument Valley. I forget what it's called, but it's the trading post that got set up that brought Hollywood to Monument Valley. The guy who founded it, white guy, of course, you know, he was struggling business-wise after the Great Depression. He went over to Hollywood and convinced John Wayne to film some Westerns out here. And we went to John Wayne's cabin because that's where he stayed, you know. Yeah, there's a bunch of movies, Stagecoach and what have you. I was Googling it. By the way, it turns out the Navajo Nation bought that back in 2023. So we felt real good getting our fry bread there, you know. We were thinking, oh man, we're putting money into like the white-owned tourist destination right outside. I still want to see John Wayne's cabin, you know. But no, Navajo Nation bought it. So wasn't John Wayne a piece of shit? Europe. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Did you go to Zion? Yeah, I went to Zion. Absolutely. Yeah. So we went to Monument Valley. I'm skipping over a bunch of stuff. I mean, we went hiking. God, look at how red the rock is. Very spooky out here. Very, very, very spooky out here. No spoilers, my love. Did it look exactly how it does in New Vegas? I mean, yeah, more or less. Yeah. But no. It's spooky because at night, you're really high up. The average elevation up here in the Colorado Plateau is like 6,000 feet. So pretty reliably, at night when it gets misty, foggy, it's like zero visibility, but it's in the desert. Normally, like the fog I'm used to are like, it's Pacific Northwest fog, right? Where it's like, oh, the humidity is 112%. You're right by the water. Of course there's fog, you know, whatever. But in the middle of the desert, no humidity. It's dry as bones out there, cold, but like dry cold. And then the mist sets in and you can't see shit. Yeah, I can really see how people turn out into like conspiracy cranks out there. It was very eerie, very eerie. So goddamn pretty. Silent Hill type stuff? Well, no, because it's like low moisture. Silent Hill was clearly a high moisture environment, if I recall correctly. How was the traffic in Zion? Awful. Okay, we ended up going to Zion. We hiked around there for a while. So beautiful. So beautiful. Where's Zion? I don't know where everything is in a map. Where's Zion? St. George. Where's Zion National Park? Okay, look at that, man. Yeah, we came in from the east. Checker Point Mesa had to go through the goddamn east entrance here, and basically it's where's the east entrance? Carmel Tunnel. Here you go. Right here's the town, and you there's just one path you take up, and you've got a bunch of hiking trails that branch out from this one like cut into the place. It's so pretty out there, man. It's so goddamn beautiful. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I could. I'd seen some pictures, but no, it was fantastic. Hiked around for a while. You're Zionist now? You know, it wasn't called Zion initially. It was named after some local indigenous shit. Then the Mormons named it Zion in like 1920 or something like that. That having been there though, like since the Mormons believe the Bible took place in America, I can understand them attaching biblical significance to this place. You know, I can see that. See any Mormons out there? Yeah, but you wouldn't be happy with the anecdote I'd have to share with you because they mogged your asses. We were doing one of the trails, Upper Emerald, and we were sandwiched on both sides by the same Mormon family. It was like 20 people. There was like 6 of them were kids. It was crazy. It's the most fertile white people on earth, you know? And they were all like really well adjusted and friendly and physically fit. And like I said, you wouldn't like it, you know? You wouldn't be happy with the look. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff going on in the back because, you know, Mormonism, but they were like the archetypal, the stereotypical Mormon family. And all the young people, there was an older brother who was like helping the younger ones along and being like really enthusiastic and helpful and everything. It was pretty funny. They do love getting outdoors. I would too if I lived near Zion. I'm mentally well adjusted for Mormons. Mormons actually on average are much more productive and happy than like non-Mormons. The thing is, the way they achieve that is by ruthlessly excising all people from the community who have doubts or questions or who don't work with it or whatever, you know? So they maintain a high rate of like in-group happiness by removing the detractor, you know. You can't do that with like race, right? They can't do the Joe Biden you ain't black anymore if there's a black guy who's unemployed or whatever, but Mormons can, so they do. Yeah, they remove the mentally ill leftists. They remove the VGGers. Get your asses right out there. God, it was so pretty. Went to the gift shop. Of course, we got gift magnets everywhere. You have to get your fridge magnets, right? I mean, if you're not getting your fridge magnets, what are you even doing? How are you going to remember where you've been? We spent the last night in Vegas. It was Thanksgiving. We had a steak dinner, very tasty, at the Bellagio. Had a really wonderful time. Here's me at Horseshoe Bend. I took a bunch of pictures. I'm not showing you guys all the pictures because, of course, I've got my dick and balls out. I've got it in the Grand Canyon. I've got it in Zion, etc., etc. However, I think this is a nice picture of me in Horseshoe Bend. Horseshoe Bend. It's just, I mean, it's what it sounds like. It's a bend in a river that looks like a horseshoe. It's very pretty, very beautiful. Got there right before the sunset. What are you doing with your leg? I'm sitting cross-legged here. It's hard to tell because of the angle. But my left leg is up, but my right leg is sitting flat against the rock. Did you fall? Yes, I fell and died. You're dreaming right now. When I was in Vegas, I dressed like I was Ralph Lauren because I still had the stuff left over from the wedding. It's really, I was happy with that, you know. The double denim with a tweed jacket is like a classic Ralph Lauren look. Now, I don't have the Ralph Lauren belt and the Ralph Lauren build, and there are some technical errors, but I had a good time is what matters, okay? It's a good time, good time. Fake fan? Yeah, I know. Honestly, like, these are very, very pretty pictures of Zion, but, like, I feel like we went on the most secluded trail. Like, they're much... Nice meme. There are so many pretty photos you can get out here because you're really in the ravine, man. I mean, this is what it's like. You're running up. There's just a one-way path. You go south to north, and you're surrounded by mountains on both sides. You see any animals? Yeah, we saw plenty of antelope. We saw antelope all over the place. Antelope, deer, when we were by Mexican Hat, we took the car out and we drove down a dirt road that was kind of rickety. We parked it, we walked around for a while. And look, again, the landscape out here is like 90% of it is just flat, okay? And then 10% of it is completely vertical. It's a unique feature of the landscape that, to my knowledge, does not exist anywhere else on Earth. Most of the time, you're just running a flat road. Totally easy walk, right? Except for the rattlesnakes. And then, you gotta climb. I mean, you have to like vault yourself over rocks, you know? Had some of that to do with the one of the walks around Sedona. I mean, God, I was caked in sunscreen. Of course I was. But it's all a flat walk, and it's like, oh, do you want to get a good view? Here's like a 90-foot vertical. Have fun, you know? Scamper up those rocks, white boy. Get! It was great. Yeah, we saw some javelinas in Sedona. They were really cute. Man, look at Monument. This is what I mean, okay? This was like, everything we saw in a topographical sense was just a version of this, where it's either completely flat or good luck, you know? Now, these are very morally good, right? The Monument Valley was it was very inspiring to be there. Very powerful. The Grand Canyon just filled me with dread, you know? Because you can just walk right up to it. It's insane that they didn't put a fence around all like 10,000 miles of the edge of the Grand Canyon. I can't believe they didn't. I mean, there's like a couple viewpoints where they have the wall, but you can just walk up to like any part of the Grand Canyon and go, good night, y'all, and fall forever, because it's it's so big. It's so big. It's crazy how large it is. It's a famous suicide destination. I actually looked it up. Most people who die at the Grand Canyon do so from heat stroke, right? We went during the winter, or early winter, whatever. But oh yeah, I mean, there were some days out there, even in the cold, and the weather was amazing, but even in the cold, like the sun was really beating down on you. I was lathering some good old SPF 55 on myself. I mean, I was generously applying it. The only part of me that got burned was the one part of my exposed skin that I forgot, which was the triangle of my chest hair, or my chest, I guess. The hair didn't get burned. You know, because of course, like, we're still hiking. I've got the shirt I'm wearing unbuttoned, like the top 3 buttons, you know? So there was a triangle of red right here. And it was singed. Things you do to slay. I'm not having that shit choking my neck out when I'm hiking around. No, we spent a good... I mean, look, we did not do any crazy difficult trails. Nothing we did couldn't have been done by, like, a moderately athletic adult or any child. Because have you ever been on a hiking trail and you're like, no, I'm fine. And then in your head, you're thinking like, this is the most difficult thing anyone's ever done. I'm mogging everyone I know. And then you turn around, there's like a parent with their 6-year-old kid, and the parent's in shape, and the kid is just like, bah, 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 like hopping from rock to rock, you know? Classic hiking experience. Classic hiking experience. If you've been hiking, like at a popular trail, this has happened to you. Unless you're one of the very physically fit ones, in which case, whatever. Kid just jumps over the Grand Canyon. No. Like if a kid fell in the Grand Canyon, they'd be fine. I've seen American Ninja Warrior. A kid, to them, that like the bones would heal. They'd knit themselves together. I would not be able to tank that. I don't think. You know. But no, I had a phenomenal time. So again, very very inspiring. Had some nice, got some nice stuff. Got some Navajo jewelry. If I knew more about it, I probably would say something other than Navajo. I would say like the artist name specifically, but I'd have to look it up because they were sold at like a vendor. The Oak Canyon Ridge show. I don't have it with me. I got like a turquoise signet ring. I got like a bangle. It's very good. Can we see? I'll bring it out eventually. Okay, I'll bring it out eventually. We ripped off another white man. God bless him. How can you be mad, man? If you got like boondoggled by a native person and you're white, don't you deserve it? Is this Arizona or New Mexico? This is Arizona, right? Everything I did was on the Colorado Plateau, and all of it is like right at the Arizona, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico area. It's all like in that chunk, you know? The Monument Valley is Arizona, I'm pretty sure. But Zion's Utah. Second pick? Oh, second pick. Yeah, Horseshoe Bend. I took this. Isn't this nice? My iPhone took that. Did you go to 4 points? Nah, we didn't have time for 4 points. We were on our shit. We did not have time to enjoy any of the nice hotel rooms we booked. We bought some like nice experience hotel rooms. You know, here you are in a rock cabin. You're surrounded by antelope, and the shower is like a separate building, you know. We barely had any time to enjoy it because every morning we're up and at 'em, you know. We didn't have time. I wish we had more time. They are desperate to get me to use Grok, man. That sounds no, it was really, really good. Four Corners? Yeah, that area, but I didn't see the Four Corners is where the four states meet. There's like a monument doop, where Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado all touch corners together. It's a perfect, you know, it's a perfect intersection. 490-degree angles. Where the place is crowded? Utah was pretty crowded. Monument Valley was fine. Sorry, Zion was pretty crowded. Zion was super, super crowded. I'm being informed by my beloved partner that we also got this cute bighorn plush, which we immediately vaulted at the cats when we got home. There was another one we got. We got some cool stuff. I got some like sandstone back there that looks really nice, and a hand painted Navajo thing. Like, there was some really nice stuff at the Monument Valley. What was it called? Visitor Center. They had a hand woven Navajo rug up on the wall for a cool $48,000. That's how you know it's authentic. Oh, either that or they're like, we're gonna pull off the biggest white boy scam you've ever seen. It takes a really long time to weave those. However, that's a little bit out of my budget. I'm sorry to say, you know, as much as I love Native American art. Well, not all Native American art. Sometimes I look at it and I think that's not really for me. But I do like some specific stuff, mostly the cowboy adjacent stuff. And whoo boy, did I feel like I was rootin' and tootin' the whole time I was up there, man. God damn. Wouldn't be surprised if I passed you in Utah. If an old teal semi-truck cut you off, I apologize. You can't cut anyone off because these dipshit-ass roads are all one lane both ways, passing lane every 6 miles or something. I felt like I was always getting one up over somebody else, or somebody else was always getting one up over me, you know? Like, I'm driving 75 in the 65, somebody behind me, I'm getting the high beams flash behind me, and some guy in like an elevated you know, Tacoma or whatever is zipping past me. Or alternatively, I'm behind like the world's oldest woman just outside of Sedona, and I need to wait for the passing lane. Utah's the worst drivers. Every state says this. However, I was beholden to many interesting driving decisions made by other people on the road. Okay, but was Zion New Vegas accurate? I mean, like, in terms of the landscape, yeah, it was pretty accurate. It's funny you're making the jokes, but like, even though you're not really in the Mojave on the Colorado Plateau, I did re-download New Vegas when I got home. I was like, I've never really done a melee explosives build. We'll try it. So we just hit Provac, or Novac, sorry. So, you know, I can't make fun of you guys for the reference because it worked on me too. Leisure run? I can't do leisure runs. How many miles was the whole trip? Probably drove around 1,800 miles would be my guess. Maybe I'd have to plug it all in because we did a lot of extraneous driving as well. It wasn't just like the purely highway driving or whatever. 1,800, maybe 2,000, something like that. I feel that'd be my guess. Did you drive back up to Seattle? No, we flew out of Las Vegas. I'm not as interested in driving. Like, we were doing a Southwest trip, you know. We flew down to San Diego. We flew up from Vegas. It was very good. Very good. Very good. Honestly, the main takeaway that I got from all this is maybe I should be a Mormon. That family seemed pretty happy. Dude, look at Zion though. This is it during like the late spring, right? So it's got the greenery. Look at that. That's crazy. Is this the Holy Land? Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't really blame the Mormons for calling it for calling it Zion when it looks like this. Like, sure, if you believe the Bible happened in America, then yeah, sure, that's Zion. Whatever. There's so much stuff I want to do up there too. The Narrows, which is like you're walking through this like low cave river kind of thing. I don't even know how to describe it. This is real, by the way. Look at this. You're like getting cut through the. We didn't have time to do this. The Narrows hike is like 8 hours long. They have another one, Angel's Landing, which you'll understand why when you see it. You have to book that one, because it's very dangerous. The whole hike is like this. It's like you're walking along the edge of the spine of the dinosaur, like on the dinosaur's back, you know? I don't know how difficult it is. I think it's more just like if you fuck up, you die, right? I'm not sure if it's actually tough to do. It is dangerous. People have died. I saw it on Google. A lot of people die here yearly. That's cool. That's cool. I could never do this without having a panic attack. You know, I'm normally pretty afraid of heights, but weirdly, I don't really get that feeling that much when hiking. Even when I was going up Rainier, and there were a couple of switchbacks on Rainier where, like, you look to your right and it's solid wall, and then you look to your left and it's a infinity foot drop, and then you look to your feet and you are barely keeping your balance on narrow, shaky rocks. And I was thinking, I got this. If I fell, I would simply throw my weight to the right, you know? You've solid hiking shoes? Yeah, yeah, of course. You should never. I did see some people in sneakers. You can do the sneakers if you're doing like a lighter trail like we did, but obviously if you were doing something like this, like yeah, bring a stick, bring your hiking boots, you know. Don't be stupid. Oh man. Dude, look at this. There's crazy. Maybe I'll do it one day. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, this is what you're see, you can see the posts right here. You're literally following the ridge. It's like 5 feet wide the whole way. Oh, there you go. There's some people. It's like, yep, gonna go up there. This actually looks pretty difficult now that I'm looking at it. That's a lot of elevation gain. White people shit. I mean, it's literally Utah, so yeah, definitionally sure. You think they wouldn't have called it Angel's Landing if this was in like Mississippi or something? None of the locals go there. Do you not clip into this, or is it just holding? Nah, you just walk. If you fall, you're done. No, it's a walking trail. It's not. Just don't fall. Just don't fall. It's really pretty though, right? Where's the bridge? Hold on. There's a rock that looks like a bridge. That sounds really stupid. I'm sorry. I just Googled it. There's actually like a million. There's a famous one though. It's carved into the rock of the mountain. Zion Tunnel? No, well, it's not the tunnel though. It's what you see when you leave the tunnel. Oh, we got hit with an in-person 6-7 by one of the Mormon kids too. It's like one of them ulted. And it fully threw us off our path by like 20 seconds because it was belted out with so much enthusiasm. Yeah, it was the first time my partner had it took us out for a bit. It was pretty funny. Yeah, it's from the Mormon kid, you know? Gen Alpha. Your brain is cooked. You've fallen for the trap. You're reflexively decrying modernity when you were engaged in the same behavior. You were out there liking rage comics on iFunny back in the day. Derpina, that's so funny. Now you're making fun of 6-7 kids. You can't do that, okay? Time is a closed circle. Do you know DeWay? That shit was funny as fuck. Guys out there in what was it, 2018, posting E and a deep fried Markiplier face complaining that 6-7 is too avant-garde for them. It doesn't mean anything. No, you don't get it. E was like satire. 6-7, there's no point to it. There's so much shit at this park, man. There's just, it takes so much time to see it all. You know what I learned with Monument Valley, by the way? This is going to sound really stupid. Did you know it's huge? Like, everyone focuses on the big pillars. This is what we drove through. The big pillars that are like not that big. You could probably walk around the base of one of these in like an hour and well, it depends. Like this one maybe an hour. I don't know. You could walk around it in a decent length of time, okay? But some of the mesas are absolutely massive, okay? They just focus on the little ones. Like look at this. This is a map of Monument Valley, all right? Okay? The shit everyone focuses on are these ones. Sentinel Mesa, West Mitten Butte, Merrick Butte, East Mitten Butte, etc., okay? But down there is the Huntsmate. Like, you look from the visitor center, which is right here, at all these little ones, and then you turn to the right, and there's a solid wall. It's crazy. It's very, very pretty. Never-ending wall. If you Google Monument Valley, you'll just see photos of the little one. Nobody likes focusing on the big ones because it's like, oh, that's not as special. Well, I think it's special. Americans saw this and invented shareholders. That's facts, and I would too. Oh man, it was so pretty. This is the scenic drive. To give you a perspective on scale, this black line right here, it does a loop like around the Rain God Mesa. 2-hour drive. What geological process made this? I think it was magic. I'm not entirely sure. As far as I'm concerned, it's magic. I don't really know. It's like different types of erosion of the rock, like some of the softer rock. I mean, everything's erosion. The answer is always erosion, but nowhere else in the world looks like this. I think there's like a desert in Chile that kind of has this red dirt mesa thing going on as well, but there's a reason this shit's so famous, you know? Used to be a giant ocean. You're gonna get the Mormons excited, okay? You're telling me there was a flood here in America? Oh boy, yeah, it's pretty cool. It was hand-carved by people the Mormons enslaved. I would believe that. No stream for 9 days and you people, you're full of jokes. Full of jokes. Yeah, you little goobers. Yeah, look at the difference. I love the big man. It's just insane how vertical they are. I don't know. Not exactly a novel opinion. I understand I'm not the first person around to point out that mesas and buttes tend to be pretty vertical, but it's still crazy. Let me think. What else happened? What else happened? Well, I'm skipping over a lot, of course. Had a great time at the wedding. Got coffee. Got many coffees. Had some good food. Had some good Mexican food. Steak dinner in Vegas. Walked around the strip. Went to a Cane's because my beautiful partner wanted to. Also, when we got back, they finally, and everyone clapped, they finally beat Silk Song. For real. True ending. Capital G gamer shit right there. Happened last night. You know what they did immediately after? Like 5 minutes after. Not even 5 minutes. Downloaded Hollow Knight. Woohoo! I told them this is going to be a cakewalk compared to what you've done. God damn. I did the same. Hollow Knight's very good. Why do you always have to contradict me? The spirit of what I've said is accurate. Do you think it'd be hard for a gluten-free lad to eat visiting all the parks? Can I be rude for a second? Are you actually, do you need to be gluten-free? Do you have celiac disease? Or is this more of like a, I mean, you could tank it and be fine, you know? Because I'm lactose intolerant, but I have ice cream. I just poop. Yeah, you do? All right. I have no idea. Look, keep in mind, these places are built to appeal to tourists. They probably have gluten-free options. Lactose intolerant people try not to say grit and bear it for 1 second challenge. I don't really know what celiac disease does, to be fair. So I'm being a bit of a shitter, metaphorically and literally. But you know, it's not like an allergy kills you. It doesn't kill you. It can kill you in theory. Well, anything can kill you in theory. Good Lord. Just FYI, it's an autoimmune disease. Like AIDS? Hypochondriacs really do ruin everything, huh? Doctors can't do shit anymore. Because there's like 1/10 of the population, whenever they get sick, they immediately spam call their doctor's office until they get run to the front of the next appointment. And they say, they describe all of the WebMD symptoms that they've memorized in their head. Not so fun fact, the early Mormons were so incredibly racist that they opposed slavery only because it imported more black people. That wasn't that uncommon of a position, I think, among racist people back then, you know? Do you think they were calling the slavers Jews as well? Do you think like the anti-Semitic racist Southerners were like, I don't want an integrated society, but I don't want slavery either. They are destroying the white civilization by, you know, bringing too many. Do you think they probably Oregon banned black people? They're not missing out on much. Black people, I mean. Portland hadn't gone weird yet. What about black food? What do you mean black food? What about it? I think they had it. If they went to Utah, they'd have less of it, right? Do you visit downtown Phoenix? No, we did not go to Phoenix. That. Absolutely not. Nothing for us there. Why not? I don't believe in Phoenix. You go to Sedona? Yes, we went to Sedona. Did you visit St. George? Yes. Really did enjoy that that Sedona Church, Chapel of the Holy Cross. Absolutely beautiful, you know? I had my fill, and I mean this in a good way. I was really, really taken by all of this. I don't know how I don't know what you'd say about it. Southwest brutalism? I saw a lot of it, you know? Where because most of the time when you build out here, it's disgusting and ugly. But if you really commit, I will say this, and you can boo me if you want, but it's true. This is the only environment I've ever been in, like out there in the roads, rural Utah, Arizona, whatever, where the Cybertruck looked fine. And I did see a few, but this was one of the only places where it was fulfilling the promise, right? 99.9% of the time it looks like absolute dog shit, but next to these alien red rocks, you know, that is the one context in which you're kind of fulfilling the pact. Probably doesn't, I mean, the weather is still gonna, like, that shit's rusting, but, you know, not really speaking to the practicality of the vehicle. But I was a big fan of this. Again, like, I call it Southwestern brutalism. There's probably a real word for it, one that I didn't make up. I like that vibe. It's really, really neat, you know? Does Hoover Dam count? Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance. I wanted to. It was on the list. But we just ran out of time. By which I mean we were about to leave the hotel on the final day there, and I had to poop real bad. So we ended up losing out in a half hour. We barely got to our flight in time. We were running. You can't drive over the dam anymore. Really? Why not? Federal government shutdown stuff? Budget cuts? Terrorists? Oh. Because it's like 7,000 years old or something? That's true. The Hoover Dam has been radiologically dated to have been built around the same time as the Great Pyramids of Giza were. We don't know how it was built, or some other such thing. There was an incident there a few years ago. Well, okay. Vague much, vague slot. What do you mean? And what incident? You know, it. Remember the, yeah, I do. So how are you guys doing? How was your week? Everyone have a good Thanksgiving? Had fun with your family? I mean, it all went well. My piss is bloody again. Cool, cool. Not American heretic. Yeah, but American holidays are kind of like world holidays, at least in Europe, right? Like you all get Black Friday. That shit's because of us. Don't see you complaining about it. Everyone fires fireworks on July 4th and other such things.